Sup, boys and girls, all of my ReZero fans out there watching this video right now. How you doing? Your boy Too Lazy for Life is back to bring you the first of the last 2 episodes of Season 1. Oh my god, what a roller coaster ride it has been so far, alright, with the ReZero reaction series. Holy shit, I can't believe we're about to reach the end of Season 1 already. It feels like an eternity ago I started this show. Like, for once, okay? I usually say it feels like just yesterday I started watching a show because it's gone by so fast. But man, this show, the pacing of it, and the amount of shit that we've had to go through since episode 1, and also with the slightly extended run times here and there, and the cutout opening and endings and whatnot, the pacing of this show is literally like on par with Attack on Titan. The amount of content for time, duration of the episode ratio, right, proportion, you get a lot of bang for your buck for your 24 minutes of runtime in this show. Okay, they jam pack it full of goodness, as evident from the amount of long videos that I've made, okay, from this series. All right, so your perception of time dilation when watching this show definitely gets stretched out compared to some other shows that I've seen where 23 minutes feels like 5 minutes, but they covered practically nothing in that time. Okay, so yeah, it's a very good sign, all right, when you realize, when you get this this sort of delusion that you've been on a very, very long journey, even though it hasn't been. So that's great. Okay, that's great. Either that or the show was so fucking boring and you were stubborn and you decided not to drop it, and it felt like an eternity because it dragged on so much and it was such a mundane, boring experience. But ReZero is the complete opposite of that. It was jam-packed, full of action, full of drama, full of character development, full of juicy ass story right from the get-go, and it was still able to make me feel like I've been watching 100 episodes of this so far because of just how good pacing and content was over these past 23 episodes. And yeah, can't wait to start season 2, man. But before we start season 2, we got 2 movies to watch right in between season 1 and 2, so we'll be doing that straight after I finish off the final episode coming up. All right, so yeah, episode 24 now. Subaru. I honestly don't know what's going to happen to Subaru now. He had to get himself offed last episode because Betelgeuse took over his body, which was an absolute plot twist, an absolute shock. I thought Betelgeuse had already, implanted his soul like Voldemort and his Horcruxes. He had already scattered himself across all of his cultist minions. But no, it seemed like when that last old geezer died, the spirit of Betelgeuse just decided to find a new host in Subaru. All right, he could have chosen any other person there, but he decided to go and infest Subaru. I mean, since he's drawn into the witch's scent and anything to do with the witch and whatnot, he was a bit obsessed with Subaru, right? Because of Subaru, like, having some sort of love aura around him. I'm guessing what he meant by that was like there's the spirit of the witch lingering around Subaru. So Betelgeuse was like interpreting that as you've got a witch, sort of like hugging your arm, cuddling you. All right, why are you getting so loved when I am the Archbishop of Sloth? Where is my sloth witch? Why is no one loving me, or some shit like that? So yeah, I could see why Betelgeuse would want to take over Subaru's body the most, because he's been chasing after that love all of that time that he's been so envious of Subaru for having, or that's how I interpret it as. All right, so yeah, he took over Subaru's body. Subaru realized something was off, ran off into the forest to try and fight off Betelgeuse's domination. And then in the end, before he loses all control, he asked Julius to go and behead him, off him, which now is going to set him back whatever checkpoint he's going to be at now. I have no clue what checkpoint he's going to be at now. I hope it's going to be at a fairly recent checkpoint so that we don't have to go through all of that shit from the past 5 episodes all over again. All right. And hopefully, we've only got an episode left. I don't even know if Subaru's gonna be able to fucking take down Petroglyphs in this season, whether he's gonna be an overarching villain. Alright, so we've got a lot to cover in 2 episodes. Well, I have faith, alright? It's not like ReZero is gonna fucking, shit the bed on the last 2 episodes after it's already been going 10 out of 10, knocking it out of the park streak for the past 23. Okay, so let's see how this show's gonna wow me in these last 2 episodes, alright? So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh, what a way to start. Oh. Oh, this is where he's... Yeah, see, this is what I predicted. Ugh. Japan! Oh my god, no! Nice!
自分の意識を別の誰かの意識に上書きして精神的に乗っ取るみたいな力を。奴はそれで生き延びてる。古い文献で似たような研究を見たことがある。すでに逸失した魔法だが、魔女教。
Only members of the witch cult. Oh, and a select number. Oh, whoa! No wonder Subaru could. Well, actually, no. That's the reason why Subaru was the one that got infected. None of these other guys could have been possessed. Subaru's like a prime target. Direct affiliations with witchcraft. You just had a very bad dream of being ridiculed. I don't get why anyone would want to ridicule her just because she looks like, a spitting image of the Witch of Envy. If this is what the Witch of Envy used to look like, then that's pretty damn hot. I don't care if you look like Hitler. Hey, if Hitler actually looked hot, okay, the hot take right here, okay. Even though he did all of the shit that he did, if he fucking looked hot and then you were a spitting image of him, it's like, hey, you still look hot. I couldn't care less what you did in your previous life, but the fact of the matter is still stands that you look hot. So look at that. How can you hate that? Huh? Even if she was evil, how could you hate that? It's like Administrator, right? From Sword Art Online, Alicization. Very hard to hate her when she's so fucking hot. Now you understand why fucking simps and thoughts rule the planet. Really? You couldn't even see that that's Subaru? You're the last one to be made aware of this. I'm sure Betty can solo all of those fucking witch cultists by herself, man. Which makes me wonder why the fuck that she couldn't do that in all of the bad endings for Subaru. His whole tracksuit is still showing at the bottom. Huh? Come on. So that blue girl, really, that one with the blue hair, right? That Subaru picked up in the forest, just just gone, disappeared, huh? She just stopped existing after that fucking episode. I don't think we ever got an explanation why. Or did she even survive? I can't fucking remember, man. Did she even survive when the fucking landslide came down and the dogs came down? There's no way there's no way she would have just fucking got offed right there and Subaru didn't bat an eye and mention it. Yeah, but that's cheating. There's a difference between being a 500 IQ galaxy brain, being able to meta game and future sight, future thought 2 hours ahead of your opponent, and then there's somebody who basically can time travel, alright? And just learning every single step. Cheat! That's probably how RPG bosses in games must feel every time you wipe and then you redo the boss, but in that world, the boss is still living in the same time span. And he's like, how are you able to defeat me and know all of my abilities? Oh. That's how you didn't get discovered. You? How did you where did he come from? I didn't think I'd see your face again. Holy shit. Last time I saw you, you pushed Subaru off the fucking wagon and ran off like a little beta bitch. And then you got slaughtered right afterwards for karma. We meet again, Kirito-kun. Is he like... Sloth means laziness, right? That's the sin, right? Being a sloth, basically me, right? Too lazy for life. That's what you get. You're part of my people. The sloth army. Lazy ass motherfuckers that don't want to contribute to society. Alright? So you have to atone for your laziness. Oh, the witch you... The return of Voldemort! So that's why they want her. For the Grail and the rebirth of the devil. Angry Manju. They can't see the hands. A creepy way of flying. Pride? I thought you were envy. This will be where you end now. The final showdown. Maybe he's got all of the fucking sins in here. Here, he'll be the Avatar, master of all 7 sins by the end of this series. Then he'll have the true ultimate power. The fucking OST, man! What the fuck? Oh.
我が友夏木姉妹
Damn, friend, huh? You guys are friends now. Oh my god, what the fuck? Holy shit. Wow, that's incredible. So, they're gonna kill Kirito-kun next episode then, huh? Looks like he's not gonna be an overarching main villain after all. He's just gonna be the main villain of this particular arc in this particular season, or the second half of this season anyways. Well, what a shame. Oh, Kirito-kun, I'm gonna miss you, man. It's such a shame. He's such an interesting character. This guy's literally like the Joker. You can't stop watching him because his acting, his character, the charisma on this crazy-ass motherfucker. And also Kirito, every time he fucking just is off his meds and he goes nuts and becomes Inosuke. The guy's got some serious voice acting talent. You know, his voice is the same every fucking show, but that's what makes him so distinct. It's like Kono Dioda. Okay, you recognize that voice anywhere, and it's always just so memeable outside of the main series that everyone knows him as. Like Kirito from SAO, that's his voice. Kono Dioda from JoJo, that's that guy's voice. There's just the one character. All right, they can't ever escape it. That's who they're known as for the rest of their lives, no matter whatever other job, role that they choose to play as. You know, for example, like Daniel Radcliffe, right? He can play as whatever the fuck he wants for the next, like 50 years or so, or however long, so long as his appearance still looks like back in the day when he was Harry Potter. He'll forever be known as Harry Potter. There's just the one iconic role that makes everybody famous. All right, so yeah, this whole episode, I mean, not really a whole lot to talk about for this one. It's just a oh god, I got a real yawning problem these days. All right, if you've noticed, I don't cut them out. I just keep them in the video. Every single fucking recording, I just keep yawning. But I've been up for like half a day already. I don't understand what's wrong with me. I think I've got oxygen deficiencies now. Yeah, so everyone is alive, right? Since Subaru has reset. So hopefully he can make it out of this time with no casualties. All right. Not even the random ass background side characters have been killed yet, right? Because Subaru hasn't begun the hunt for Betelgeuse, and therefore, yeah. He reset right after he defeated the whale, and he was giving the pep talk to everybody in a ring around him, right, of the crowd. All right, at the base of that broken tree. All right, that giant world tree, the Flugel tree or whatever. So that was before people started getting turned into pulp by the unseen hands, right, in the forest, and then everyone died. So no casualties so far. That's good. The villagers have been evacuated. Unlike, oh yeah, right. The previous attempt. Even if Subaru had succeeded, even if Subaru was still actually, now that I think about it, why didn't we talk about that before? We didn't even have to wait until Subaru got to the point where he got possessed by Betelgeuse and then had to ask to get beheaded and then reset himself. You should have noted. You should have knew from the moment that cultists were there, cutting down people left and right in that ambush when the car exploded, that Subaru needed to reset. All right, you should have already knew that Subaru was gonna die or something was gonna happen for him to have to restart again, because people already. His objective was to save the villagers, and half the village had already been slaughtered. So yeah, I don't know why I never thought about that up until now. So yeah, in this case, everyone is still alive, alright? The objective is to save everybody. The moment somebody, no matter how insignificant or significant they may be, dies, Subaru, I'll probably keep that in mind from now on. Yeah, I'll probably have to make a note of that from now on. Anytime anybody dies now in this show that is pretty close to Subaru in some shape or form, alright, that, yeah, his Subaru will need to reset. So that's basically like a dead giveaway that the current timeline that Subaru's on, he's gonna have to go and go back to the previous. He has to checkpoint himself again, all right, and get himself killed. Because no one's allowed to die in Subaru's perfect run. The perfect 100% no death run. It's what Subaru's trying to get through right now on Dark Souls. Alright. So yeah, I think we're just gonna jump straight onto the next episode. Alright, I don't wanna dilly-dally too long. Alright, on this particular episode. Alright. So yeah. That's it, guys. That's all of my thoughts for episode 24. We got one last episode to go until we do the movies and then season 2. Alright, so hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Coming up next. Oh yeah, no, this is 24. This will be the last one for this week. Alright, the last episode will be next week. Okay, so next week will be the final episode of season 1 of ReZero. I hope it's going to go out with a bang. I hope it's going to wow me. Okay, this final climactic ending to what has been a 10 out of 10 experience season. And then we'll have a discussion as to the journey that we've been on so far, these 25 episodes, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts, my final rundowns as to what I thought about this series so far, and then we'll continue on from there. All right. So that is it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, join the Discord, join the Patreon. All the social media links are given in the video description down below if you're watching on YouTube. So please check them all out and show your boy your support. All right, don't be a lecherous cunt. I'll very much appreciate it. I can't say it any clearer than that. Don't be an unsupportive, lecherous cunt. All right. Big massive shout out to all of my existing patrons right now supporting me on Patreon. And last but not least, big massive shout outs once again to the Sloth Troopers, Tomato, and Ethan's Musketeer. And also to the Supreme Sloth supporter, Zozo. Thank you guys so much again for your top dog financial support, backing me, and supporting my cause, my pursuits to becoming a full-time content creator here on YouTube and on the wide web. Alright, you guys are all absolutely freaking awesome. Alright, so that is it for this video. I'll see you guys all next week for the end, the finale of ReZero Season 1, alright? But until then, that is it from me. Bye for now!